Hey there, Rob Subek with Don's Appliances here today, and joining me is my cohort.
James Hayes, also with Don's Appliances Canonsburg. So I think today we wanted to touch on appliances for the busy household, things that can speed things up for you, things that can make your life a little easier.
And better.
And better.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of ways that technologies come into it that it can help out. Some things are just faster than others.
True. And I mean, what's one of the big, let's say, the appliance that people complain about the most when it comes to time is their dishwashers. They can't believe that cycles are 2.5 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah, I mean, there's one model I can think of that has a cycle on it that's 6.5 hours if you hit that one. So they can take a while. And there's a couple options around that. Most dishwashers are going to come with a quick wash cycle, which pretty much means you've done all the work for the dishwasher and you just want to splash some water and soap on them for the heck of it. But, there are a couple faster ones. Miele has their commercial line that has, depending on whether there's a 110 or a 220 volts, depending on, what you want to have run to your dishwasher. Most people are going to have the 110 20 amp circuit. And that particular model has a 50-minute wash cycle on the first wash, and then any coinciding wash cycles after that are only about 30 minutes. And then they have the 220 amp version, or 220 volt version of it rather, that runs on a 30 amp circuit, and it cuts all that pretty much in half. The first cycle is about 30, and then each cycle after that's only about 15 minutes.
Right. Impressive stuff. I mean,
yeah. And that you pay for that. It is not an inexpensive dishwasher, but it is a very well built machine. Maybe for something that's going to be half that cost, it does something similar. Is the Thermador, the Star Sapphire, right?
Which offers both the Star drying, which is really going to help with drying off the plastic, so saving you time with wiping off all of the plastic that never comes out dry. But then the Star Speed cycle, where it does about an hour preheat of the water, and then you can run 10 individual cycles that are only 20 minutes each, all in a row. So it's really aimed at like somebody who's throwing a party, somebody who's an entertainer, but you could just run 2 or just 1, but then that ends up being an hour and 20 minutes, an hour and 40 minutes, but it'll actually get clean, unlike a lot of the speed cycles that are out there.
Yes.
And to your point, probably roughly about half the price retail versus that Miele Profi line.
Yeah, I want to say the Profi is about $5,000 now with panel and everything, and that Star Sapphire is like $2,500.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's about half. Right. Yeah. So those are for quicker dishwashers. Those are both options.
But about making life better and more efficient, you have Miele's AutoDOS system, where they have their own proprietary soap, comes in a puck, you install it in your door. The dishwasher is going to dose the soap for you. Generally, one puck is good for about a month, if not longer than that, depending on the household. And their soap is designed to work with their dishwasher extremely effectively.
Yes, but that will not come on the Pro Line ones.
Well, right, no.
Only on the residential ones.
It's everything but that.
Yes. So that one takes some special soaps. Maybe another thing, and moving into like the kitchen side of things, there's been people are busy sometimes cooking a dinner. It's tough to get done, so speed ovens have been popular, and that's something maybe GE's touched on a lot with their new marketing campaign for the Avantium. So the speed ovens in general are going to be an oven with a microwave element added to it, so you can essentially speed up your cooking process without turning your food to mush like a microwave maybe has a tendency to do.
And you can add microwave heat and halogen heat to like a toaster kind of functionality or to an oven functionality and just give you that better overall, cooked all the way through, nice and crisp, browned on the outside, not mushy.
Yeah. So that would be one. Where else were we?
Wall ovens, being able to remote preheat.
Yeah, wall ovens ranges with all this Wi-Fi. I have a lot of customers come in and be like, I don't want Wi-Fi. But if you got a busy house, make sure two things. Your oven's empty and you have the remote enable on. When you're on your way home, say you're coming home from the grocery store, you can pull up your app and preheat that oven. So when you walk in, you don't have that 30-minute wait time waiting for it to come up to full temp.
And there's a lot of smart hoods, whether it's about the temperature down below with the heat sentry function or like a GE Cafe or like a GE Monogram where they have the Chef Connect where it talks to the range or talks to the cooktop, the hood turning on automatically when you turn on the oven.
Yes.
So you have that. Beyond that, your ventilation is getting smarter too. And customers coming in saying they don't want Wi-Fi, as the market stands right now, we're probably at 60 to 65% of what we sell has Wi-Fi whether you want it or not. You know, you don't have to set it up.
Yeah.
But it's coming with it.
Oh, you know what is really cool too is the temperature probes.
Oh,
and what
yeah.
you can do with that. So if you're entertaining and maybe you want to do some steaks at medium rare and you're not doing them on an outdoor grill, throw them in your oven, set your temperature to go to 135, pop that probe in, go on the back porch, have a glass of wine or a beer or whatever. When that's done, you can have a notification sent to a smartwatch or a phone. Excuse me. And it'll let you know when everything's done. So there's not that running back and forth to check everything.
Right, and if you don't know what to set the probe for, you could get into a Jen Air Culinary Center, a Wolf Gourmet system, or a Mila Master Chef system, where you tell it what it is that you're cooking, and it'll tell you what rack to put it on, what kind of pan to put it in, what to set the probe for, when to turn it, when to flip it, when to rest it. You can make it look like you know what you're doing, and you've never cooked a day in your life.
I sold a customer a Mila steam oven, and she had no idea what she was buying at the time, but that's neither here nor there.
You're describing multiple situations in your career.
But she called me back to tell me it was the best appliance she's ever owned, and it looked like she was cooking in a Michelin star restaurant, even though she had no cooking abilities whatsoever. So, you know, there's a lot of things you can do now where it'll walk you through the steps.
Well, speaking of better, not necessarily efficient, but better, selling someone on a steam oven versus a microwave. Not necessarily in lieu of, because we still got to pop popcorn, we still got to reheat coffee, but steam is coming close to replacing the microwave. Why is it better?
Well, if you're reheating and then something in that nature, it's actually cooking with steam heat versus, you know, a traditional kind of convection fan or microwaves. So it's going to add moisture into whatever you're preheating. And it can cook faster. You know, you can do, and there's only a handful of these that would actually fit it, but you can do a 20-pound turkey in a steam oven in about 2 hours. And then at the end, kick the steam off. It's a regular convection oven, get that crispy skin. You know, so instead of it being like an all-day event during Thanksgiving, you know, if someone's coming at 6 o'clock for dinner, throw the thing in 3:30, 4 o'clock, and 6 o'clock it's done. You know?
I've had customers that have 4, 5, 6 ovens that I sold them throughout their home. One of them being a steam oven, and that I talked to them a year later. It's always the only oven that they use.
Yeah,
is the steam
100%.
oven.
And then, you know, one of the common concerns with this speed oven is going to be
Steam oven,
is this overall size. But the XXLs coming out of Thermador and Mila, you can fit a 20-pound turkey in those. Like, you can do everything you would do in a regular size oven.
100%.
And then, you know, they're fast. I haven't had anyone buy one yet to call back and tell me they don't like it,
Or that they don't use it.
Yeah,
you know.
And my one customer actually invited her video team to her house to do a video on it. She was that ecstatic about it.
Wow.
So it's maybe something that a lot of people aren't really considering for their kitchen, but for sure something that will make your life easier in a lot of ways.
100%. Go to donsappliances.com and chat with us, and we can get you going with appliances that are going to make your life more efficient or better, or both.